Canning carrots. We bought these carrots because I can't grow a carrot like that. If it comes down to it, I can grow a carrot, but it won't look like that.
Copy that whole section.
Hold on, I need to turn off Devil Dog.
No,
Give me a second. I'm back. I just muted him. I bet his wife wishes she could do that. Mine does too. I'm just lightly getting the skin off these. Some people say that you don't have to do that, and you probably don't, but I don't care. We all do things a little bit different. The canning police may get on to me, but that's all right. My wife had an uncle, and her daddy actually was driving down through a little speed trap town just out of Alabama, and they got a ticket for speeding, and they wasn't speeding. Well, they decided to fight it, and they said nobody's ever won a case in this town. And so they went down there and went to court. True story, by the way. Or the judge finally, he said, well, I guess it comes down to this. The radar clocked you at this speed. And he said, we're just going to have to say that the machine against man, he said, I'm going to have to go with the machine. It's more accurate. And my wife's uncle got up and said, no, sir, it wasn't machine against man, it was machine against machine. He said, my speedometer on my machine, my car, said that we were going this speed. And my speedometer is right. And the judge looked at it. I guess he was impressed that somebody stood up against him. I don't know, but he dismissed the case. They didn't have to pay the ticket. And that's how it is with canning a lot of times. People don't like the fact that Granny said something. But you know what? Granny's been doing it all her life. She's had experience at it. And just because she's not USDA approved or FDA approved or canning police approved doesn't mean that she's wrong. It means that she's had experience. She has done it all her life and she knows what she's doing. So it's nothing wrong with listening to Granny. All these folks that complain about us that go by Granny's recipes, we don't care. We don't care. We think that they've had years and years and years and years and years and years of experience. We're going to trust them. You don't want to trust them, that's up to you. Don't fuss at me for trusting my granny. I'm going to cut these carrots up, but y'all don't want to see that. Then I'm going to can them because I like canned carrots.
Has Chuck been talking about his granny again? I always go by the book. Now you stand in that corner until you learn how to behave.
We got the jars in the canner. Got the jiggler jiggling. One piece of advice, you don't ever want to lean up, you don't ever want to put your arm on this thing because it's hot. Don't ask me how I know. We're going to let these go for 25 minutes. They're pint jars where at our elevation, I think it's 11 pounds of pressure. We're going to let them go for 25 minutes and then we're going to cut the heat off to them. And look, I don't know what Blinda's in here talking to y'all about. My granny lived to be 90-something years old. And she lived by the law of the land. She was a true pioneer woman when it comes to canning and cooking and things like that. And we very rarely ever got sick when we ate her food. Very rarely. But I don't need no ball book. I don't need no USDA blah 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 book.
Chuck, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of going over what I need to. I'm looking up the ball canner thing. so I can make sure I'm done everything right.